Hello and a warm welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. Today we're going to have a wee bit of fun. We're going to go through our top 11 Celtic team, our first 11, our best ever 11 Celtic team. And then after that we're going to go through our top 3 Celtic moments. I've got John with me. How's things today, John?
Aye, all good, Zander. How's yourself?
Aye, okay. Still bored to tears with this international stuff. My top 1 to 11, your top 1 to 11, and we're going to base this on the current Celtic formation 4-3-3. Is that okay with you, John?
4-3-3 is fine with me. Yeah, let's go for it, Zander.
Okay, let's get started. And before we start, I know that a lot of podcasts have done this before, but this is just to pass the time till the football starts again. I forgot to add that. But anyway, I started watching Celtic around about 86. When did you start watching them, John?
It was 82, 83, Zander, I think it was.
Aye, so it's going to be players based from then to now. Obviously, some of the players are going to overlap. We're going to have the same players in each team, so that's obviously going to happen.
That's all part of the fun.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Like, for example, Paul McStay against Paul McStay. One of them ones. All right, we'll get started. Goalkeeper, obviously Packy Bonner is a great goalkeeper for Celtic. Arthur Boric, Big Fraser Foster. I'm going to go with Boric. Just thought he's an outstanding goalkeeper. Pulled off some tremendous saves. Boric is my number 1, John. What are you thinking?
I'm just writing that down. You've got Boric as your number 1. I'm thinking along the same lines as you. Obviously, we watched Celtic near enough around about the same time, give or take a few years. Growing up when I first started watching Celtic, Pat Bonner, always had good memories of him at Celtic Park. I thought he was a fantastic keeper, and I'm going to put Pat Bonner in goals.
Okay. I'll just take a wee note of that. Right. All right. So we're going to left back and right back next, John. My right backs between Michael Lustig, Tom Boyd, and Jackie McNamara. It's a tough one, 3 outstanding players, obviously. I'm going to go with Tom Boyd. I'm going to put Tom Boyd in my right back, John. And for left back, it's between Izagiri and Kieran Tierney. Obviously, there's been other great players there at Celtic over the years, but I've narrowed it down to these few players. So Izagiri, Tierney, you've got to go with Tierney, haven't you? So right back, I'm going for Tom Boyd. Left back, I'm going for Tierney.
Tierney.
Yeah.
All right, that's a fair shout. I like both the players. Tommy Boyd, of course. A lot of Tom Boyd's just that he's a good guy as well, and he was great on Celtic TV, great to listen to. So aye, that's fair enough. Kieran Tierney, obviously one of our best left backs I think we've had at the club. But I'm going to put my left back as Danny McGrain. When I first started watching Celtic, Danny was always there. He was an absolute stalwart for Celtic, Danny McGrain. Absolutely, he was just brilliant for me, Danny McGrain. So I'm going to put him in there.
Yeah, outstanding.
And on the right, so I'm looking at maybe Tom Boyd was good, Jackie McNamara. I'm thinking currently we've got a great right back just now in Alistair Johnson. I think that boy's got a lot more to show. And I think he's totally fearless. Doesn't matter who he's up against, he shows no fear. I'm going to put our current right back in there, Alistair Johnson.
All right. You're going to pick Johnson over the likes of Lustig and Boyd and Jackie McNamara. Fair enough.
Definitely, yeah.
Outstanding player, yeah. Obviously, he's only been here a year. For what he's shown in that year and a bit, he's been brilliant. Aye.
There's definitely a lot more to come for that boy. That's fearless, Zander, totally fearless.
Okay, moving on to the 2 centre backs. Obviously, I'm going to put Van Dijk in right away. There's no argument with Van Dijk. Just a colossus of a defender, outstanding defender. And beside him, I was torn between Roy Aitken and Big Carter Vickers. Big Carter Vickers again, outstanding defender. Never puts a foot wrong. Been great if he's came to Celtic the last couple of years, and then you have Big Roy Aitken, He was also just amazing, outstanding defender. I know he played midfield as well, but when he was at the back, he was solid. But I'm going
No
to go with
Bobo Baldi?
Vickers.
No Bobo?
No,
The big fearless
no
Bobo?
Bobo. No, had too many mistakes in him for me, John. Outstanding player, obviously, but I'm going with Vickers. So it's Vickers and Van Dijk for me, John.
All right, fair enough. Well, you just mentioned one of the players who was, again, one of my all-time favourites at Celtic, Big Roy Aitken. I'm going to stick Roy Aitken in there.
Right.
Right, I've just that team at that time with Danny McGrain and Roy Aitken and all that. That was probably one of my favourite Celtic teams, actually, to be honest with you. And it just brings back a lot of memories as well. I think Big Roy Feed the Bear Aitken was an outstanding defender. Got us a load of goals as well. Fearless in the tackle, great in the air. He wasn't the tallest of players either. He was like a bit like Carter Vickers. Wasn't the tallest, but fearless, Big Roy. So I'm going to put Roy Aitken in there. And I'm going to go with Van Dijk. Obviously, Virgil's obviously one of the best defenders I've seen ever at Celtic. But Billy McNeil and all that, of course, but we're not counting them. So I'm going to put Virgil in there as well.
Yeah, it was a close one with me between Aitken and Carter Vickers, very close. But, you know, I know Roy Aitken was there for a good, 6-7 years. Carter Vickers has only been here a couple of years. But it's like you says with Johnson, there's a lot more to come for Carter Vickers, so that's why I stuck him in there. All right, moving on to the middle three. This is where it starts to get tough. Starting with the number 6 row, I had a choice of 3, Lennon, Brown or McGregor. And it's tough, And I'm going with Brown, Scott Brown in there.
Scott Brown, no Paul McStay?
No, I've got Paul McStay in the team, but I've got him further up the field.
Right, have you?
So I've got Scott Brown in the holding 6.
Scott Brown. It's hard to argue with that, really, isn't it? Scott Brown. And he was...
You look at the trophies he won, John, and the medals he's won. He was just an outstanding captain for us. You know, he's still miss him now. You know, but I put Brown in there ahead of McGregor and Neil Lennon.
Aye, I'm going to go with the other player that you mentioned. I'm going to put Neil Lennon there. I thought Neil Lennon was absolutely amazing for Celtic that day. Again, another fearless guy. Didn't get many goals, of course. Bruno got a lot more goals than Neil Lennon ever got. But you're looking at the team that Neil Lennon was in as well, getting to the Seville final. Countless trophies again, same as Brown. Not as many as Brown, right enough. But I always liked Lenny. I always thought when Lenny was playing, that midfield was solid. Fearless Neil Lennon, so I'm going to stick him in there, Zander.
Okay, excellent choice. What I remember about Neil Lennon that sticks in my mind is obviously done a lot of great things for us, but I remember his very first game and his very first tackle, and everybody just went, "That's what we've been needing for years," and that's how he played the rest of his career at Celtic.
I love Lennon, honestly. I mean, listen, between Brown and Lennon, very similar type players. I think Brown had a bit more skill about him, but whereas Lennon was all about the no-nonsense, getting stuck in, never die attitude. Bruno was a bit like that as well. Very similar type players, I think. I think Lennon had that wee bit extra grit to him, so I'm putting Lenny in there.
Yeah,
that's good backup for Roy Aitken and Virgil van Dijk, I think.
Yeah.
Covering there. So, Lenny.
Okay. I'm going for Brown, you're going for Lenny. All right. And the other two midfielders playing slightly further up. Obviously, McStay's just straight in there. Paul McStay, you know, playing off the front three. Just what a player. We can say about Paul McStay that's not already been said. The guy was just a genius, an absolute genius. So McStay's right in my team, no problem. Beside Paul, I've got either Lubo or Nakamura. And it's a tough choice.
I'm not going to help you there. So
and I'm going with Lubo. I'm going with Moravchik. He was just a wee magician, an absolute magician. Talent beyond belief. You know, what he could do with football was unbelievable. I'm going with Lubo and McStay in there, John. Who have you got? What are you thinking about?
Liddell and McStay. McStay's obviously the Celtic legend, isn't he? It's to be honest, it was two players I was considering picking myself. Liddell for it. I'll start with Liddell. He's got to go in there. He's got to go in there. To me, the most technically gifted Celtic player we've ever had. Two-footed, scoring goals for impossible positions. All his goals were screamers. Call it left foot, right foot. He was doing it for impossible angles. The skill he had turning players inside it. His control, his vision. One of Celtic's best all-time players. And I could never leave him out of the team. Liddell's definitely going in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And beside him.
You got beside him?
And beside him. So we've got Lenny, Liddell, and I can't put him in there because I've picked Lennon, but I'm just talking to myself here. It's hard to get away from Paul McStay in it. It's hard to get away from him with such a good player, Paul.
Obviously, you had Petrov and Lambert and players like that, Alan Thompson.
No, I wouldn't count any of them.
But Paul McStay was a step above them, obviously, wasn't he?
Aye, but I'm thinking along the same lines as you, though, with the players that I've got here, and I'm thinking a Seville team, which was ladled with talent. But I think I'm going to have to go for McStay as well, Zander.
McStay, yeah.
I think that three in the midfield, Lennon, Liddell, and McStay, skill and strength. I think I'm going to go the same. I think I'm going to put Paul McStay in.
You can't really leave McStay. He was a legend of the club, obviously, and not just a legend, but what he done in a football park was, you still think about it even to this day. So yeah, that's why I put him in. That's why you put him in.
One of the other players, I mean, we can do a subs bench if you want later. Actually, we'll maybe pick 3 quick subs that could go in the bench.
I was thinking, David, you're allowed these days. Add your 8 subs. So I've got mine already wrote down. But we'll get to the subs later, John. And the manager. I want you to pick a manager as well, John, to manage your team. Front 3, straight away, up front, Henry Larsson. Boom, boom, boom. Straight in there. No questions asked. What the guy done for the club, the amount of goals he scored, just the guy himself, the personality, just a great guy, legend of the club. Straight in there. Striker up front.
You can't argue with that, can you? It's the same for me. Henrik. Also had a lot of great strikers. Big John Hartson was outstanding as well. Chris Sutton. Again, I'm thinking of teams for that era, the Mark O'Neill era. Gary Hooper.
George Cadet, Hooper, McDonald. You have great players. Brilliant finishers of the ball. But Larson just.
Brian McClure, of course. Brian McClure was another outstanding striker for Celtic. Went on to do well for
Charlie Nicholas.
Charlie Nicholas. And they were players for around my era. But listen, you can't leave Larson out of a team.
Nakaveni, another brilliant player.
Well, there's tons of great strikers for Celtic, but I'm going to go along with you and I'm going to put Henke in there.
Okay, Henrik's in there for both of us. I don't think there's a team that Henry Larsson doesn't make, is there? So, all right. Left wing, right wing, between Forrest, McGeady, who did play on the right, and Patrick Roberts. So I'm going to go with Forrest. So I'm sticking Jamesy in there. Jamesy Forrest, John, another legend of the club. Goals he scored, assists. Just an outstanding wee winger, I thought. I know he's not doing great just now. His legs certainly obviously doing what they used to do, but still a legend of the club for me. I've got Forrest in there on the right. And on the left, for me, it's between Scotty Sinclair and Jota. Sinclair for me. He was there 4 years. Jota was only there, what, a year and a half, something like that, John?
Aye. Jota was there.
Scotty Sinclair for me scored a lot of big games, goals against Rangers. He just did it. He did it for day one. So Scotty Sinclair for me on the left, John. So I've got up front Jamesy Forrest, Henry Larsson, and Scotty Sinclair.
All right. Well, the one that you missed out, and you missed him, and I'm going to take him because to this day I always think he was such an underrated player at Celtic. Might be a bit of a surprise to you, me throwing this guy in, but I thought he was amazing. His pace, he was bad at crossing at first, but he got better and better at it. But he gave 100% chasing back and all that. Did he, Agat?
Agat, yeah.
Aye.
I actually thought about Agat, but no, I just thought James Forrest he's just done that wee bit more. But Agat, an outstanding player. Yeah, I agree. You know, the work that guy put in, John, and as you say, his pace was unbelievable, wasn't it? You know, one of the fastest football players I've ever saw in a football park.
Aye. He was outstanding, I thought. Did he, Agat?
Mm-hmm. And how did it cost? £50,000 or something for Rafe Rovers?
It was a bargain price, did he, Agat? I don't remember exactly how much he cost, but it was at that time it was a total steal. But again, he's part of the Martin O'Neill era team, isn't he? A team that was just laden with talent, I thought. But,
Aye, great player, did Agat. Aye.
Um,
And the game that sticks out for me with Agat was Ajax away. It was what a game he had that day, you know, when we beat them in the Champions League qualifiers.
I scored that stunning
And
goal as well. Of course, nobody could get near him for pace. The pace the guy had to burn was on. I remember a wee thing. I don't know if you remember this. There was a derby game on, and they were going, Didi Ragat, and they were saying Lovenkrands was the fastest player in Scotland. I don't know if you remember this, and it was a derby
I
game.
remember that.
And the commentator says, and two of the fastest players in Scotland, you wonder who the quickest one would. Lovenkrands had a 15-yard start run after the ball, and Didi Ragat absolutely flew past him. There wasn't any competition. You know, it was just a stupid comment to make. Everybody knew how fast Didi Ragat was. He was the fastest player in Scotland for a few years.
Aye.
There's no contest there at all. So even mention Lovenkrands in the same sentence as Agat is unbelievable. But aye, look, he's always going to be one of the players that stick out for me, and especially for that goal in Ajax when we won 3-1. But so left winger, I'm going to put on the left. I really don't know. The guy I'm thinking about right now, Dyson Maeda. What do you think of that?
Maeda. You thinking of putting Maeda in?
Maeda, look, we know the work rate he puts in. If he puts that work rate into every game, what every manager says, it's like playing against two players when you're up against him.
Mm-hmm.
The effort he puts in, the pace that he's got, the closing down that he does, might not be the great at putting a cross in, and he misses a few sitters. But I think what he does away from that, the closing down, the winning the ball back, I think is outstanding. I honestly think that. So I'm going to put, for the current team, I'm going to put Dyson Maeda there.
Maeda, okay, John. Aye, Dyson's outstanding. One of my favourite players in the Celtic team just now. You know, he's the effort that boy puts in is, you know, isn't it like two players? It's like three players, isn't it? You know, he's like two extra men on the park. he's unbelievable. Obviously, could begin with getting a few more goals. That's what I think personally. You could score a few more goals, but no, he sets up goals. You know, he does put in good crosses as well as bad crosses. His chasing back is unbelievable. You know, Greg Taylor must love it when he sees Dyson Maeda on the park at the same time. We must love it. You know, it makes his job 10 times easier.
Well, for a guy who plays a winger, he's unconventional as a winger, I would say, Dyson Maeda. It's not like having a winger, it's like having an all-round player he must be, imagine playing against him, Zander. You know what I mean?
It must be a nightmare, eh?
I just think he's honestly one of the best signings we've made in that position of the park anyway. I mean,
yeah.
Like you think you must love him, Greg Taylor. But who do you have beside Larsson, by the way, your front three? Larsson?
I had Forrest, Larsson and Sinclair.
Right. I just forgot to write them down there. Sorry about
No bother.
that.
All right, John, that completes the 1 to 11. We've got 8 substitutes still to pick. We'll not go through these players bit by bit. We'll just give a wee quick summary on them, right? And my 8 substitutes are Nakamura, Carl McGregor, Hooper, Thompson, Lambert, and Sutton. That's my substitutes, John.
So again, you've got Naka, McGregor, Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper, Thompson, Lambert, and Sutton.
Paul Lambert and Big Sutty. It's a good bench.
I've not got a goalkeeper in there. Obviously, I just left the goalkeeper out. We'll just go with the one goalkeeper for me.
Outfield players.
If he gets injured, we're gubbed.
Aye, well, you've got a few keepers to choose, right? But if you don't want to put one in, that's fair enough. But I'm going to go with. Let me check. I'm going to put Carter Vickers, and I'm going to put Nakamura, Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's in case we need another striker. Big Hartson.
Big Hartson, aye.
And many did you pick? 6. Scott Brown, because I never had him in my. I need a bit of pace up front. I'll no bother. I'm just going to pick players that stood out for me. I'm going to put Carl McGregor in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my sub goal is going to be Arthur Boric.
Right, you've got Boric. Who was your number 1 again, John? That was Packy, wasn't it?
And my number 1 was Big Packy Boner.
Right, okay. All right, mate. So that leaves us with the manager then. I was struggling with this, actually, believe it or not, to manage my team. I was torn between, obviously, Martin O'Neill, legendary manager, Billy McNeil, and Brendan Rodgers. That's my 3. I was thinking Tony Mowbray or not, but
Aye.
So I'm thinking Big Caesar. I'm thinking Martin O'Neill, and I'm thinking Brendan, who is still successful and was successful as a manager. Martin O'Neill took us to the UEFA Cup final, won trophy after trophy, and Big Billy McNeil, who obviously won as the centenary double. One of the best memories for me. One of my best memories ever was that centenary double, but we'll get into that. But I have to go with Martin. My manager's Martin O'Neill.
Aye. And the Ange?
No. I don't do people that leave for money, so no.
Aye. We don't do walking away.
We don't do him walking away, that's it. No, I'm going to go with loyal manager, and I'm going to stick with Mr. O'Neill. Martin, thanks for the memories, thanks for everything you've done for us, so he's my manager.
Right, Martin O'Neill. Right, that's fair enough. Can't argue with Martin O'Neill done for Celtic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just write that down. I'm going to go with, obviously, with Martin O'Neill, right? It's on along the same lines as what you're saying. We've got Wim Jansen, who stopped them doing 10 in a row. Be a legendary manager. I thought he could have done wonders at Celtic if he stayed on.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
I just noticed with my team I never had Tommy Burns, and I totally forgot about Tommy Burns, who should have been in there somewhere, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I've picked my team now, so I can't go back. So Tommy Burns, I'll stick him in as
I'm going to take a cadet then and put in Burns. How's that?
I can't. Tommy Burns has to be in my team somewhere. I don't know. I picked my team now, so I can't go back. But anybody's listening, Tommy Burns, I've missed him out. I've already picked my team. Sorry, Tommy, but you would definitely be in there. I'd maybe take. I don't know who would take it for Tommy. Don't know. Just maybe Maida. I don't know. But managers wise, I've picked my team, so I'm not going back. Manager wise, when I started watching Celtic, it was Davy Hay that was managing Celtic at the time. But I'm not going to pick him, I'm just thinking. And then it was Billy McNeil, of course.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Brendan Rodgers done a lot with Celtic as well. And
Treble after treble, innit?
Aye, and I think he's going to continue to do well. Postecoglou, I'm the same as you. I don't think he deserves a place after what he done. Keeping the Celtic fans hanging on. I'll tell you after this, I'm not going to talk here. I'm not going to say that. Just leading the Celtic fans on. He got his mention, that's enough. Brendan Rodgers walked away as well, of course. But I still like Brendan. I think Ange, the way he kept the Celtic fans hanging on, it was worse for me, to be honest with you. You know, people was asking him questions and he wouldn't answer it, and then he says, I'm not going to answer it until after this, and then it came after that, I'm not going to answer that at a time when we're celebrating, and so what's this guy all about? Just go. Well, I knew he was going anyway when they started avoiding the question, but I'm going to put Mark McNeil on as well, Zander, because he got us to the final and all that. He brought a great team to the park, had years of success, had the Celtic team playing the way I love seeing Celtic playing. Every player on the park was fearless. He brought in fighters in every position. So I commend Mark McNeil for that. I could say Billy McNeil for, like you say, he won his centenary double and all that, but I think I'll stick Mark McNeil on there. I don't know. I'm torn between him and Brendan.
Billy McNeil also stopped the Rangers from winning a treble. And the next year we winning the Scottish Cup, beating them in the final. So Billy McNeil was an outstanding manager for Celtic.
Aye. Of course, what do you think of the competition as well at the time? When Billy McNeil was manager at Celtic, the teams were a lot better as well. And your Hearts, your Hibs, Aberdeen, Dundee United. Aberdeen were a really powerful team when he was there.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking Billy McNeil. Just because it's Caesar.
It was close for me between O'Neill and Billy McNeil. It was close.
That's why it's close for me as well, Zander, and that's why I'm thinking Billy McNeil, because he's the ultimate Celtic legend for me, Billy McNeil. Him, Jinky Johnson, Tom McBurns, they three. Of course, there's a lot more Celtic legends, but they three are always the standouts. I'm going to put Billy McNeil in just because he's a total Celtic legend and he played in a time when the teams were a lot better. Billy McNeil is my manager.
Fair enough, John. Legendary manager, you know, Big Caesar. Okay, so I'll read out my 1 to 11, then you can read out yours, and then we'll discuss who would win the game, right, if they played each other. So we're starting in goal with Boric. Then we've got Lustig, Carter Vickers, Van Dijk and Tierney. Then we've got Scott Brown in the midfield with Lubo and Paul McStay. And then up front we've got Jamesy Forrest, Scotty Sinclair and Henrik Larsson and Martin O'Neill as the manager.
Martin O'Neill. It's a good team. But what I would take out is Forrest and Sinclair. I wouldn't have them in my team. Obviously, I haven't even got them as subs. But I know they were great servants for Celtic, of course. I just think Celtic's had, in my opinion, obviously, everybody's opinion is different, you've got to remember. I wouldn't have them in my team, but you've got Lubo, McStay and Brown in there for three Celtic stalwarts. Van Dijk, Carter Vickers, Boyd, Tierney. All great players. Good team. Very good team. And a team that would compete in the current day Celtic. Also, there are no guys like McStay and all that.
Sorry, John, did I say Lustig at the start? Obviously, it's Tom Boyd.
It's Tom Boyd you've got,
yeah. All right, who's your 1 to 11 then, John?
Pat Bonner, Danny McGrain, Alistair Johnson, Roy Aitken, Virgil van Dijk, Neil Lennon, Paul McStay, Moravcik, Larsson, Maeda and Agat.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same as you. I wouldn't have Agat and Maeda as my all-time best wingers, John. You know.
Well, of course, everybody's opinion is different, Zander. That's what it's all about. That's what it's
Yeah,
all about. Everybody's got a
that's
different
it.
opinion. There'll be people listening to this, they'll be thinking, I'd never have him in my team. Who's he kidding? But it's
That's
your
it.
opinion. If you want
Yeah.
to leave your best 11 in the comments, let us know. We'll read it in the next podcast. Me and Zander have went for, obviously, up front with Zander's went with Sinclair and Forrest, and I've went with Maeda and Agat. And both of us disagreed with each other there, but that's what it's all about. It's all about having different opinions.
Don't get me wrong, John. Every player that's been picked so far is outstanding. Great players for Celtic. Just done wonderful things and still doing wonderful things for Celtic. So let's put the two teams in a game, right? Who's coming out on top? And leave a comment if you agree and disagree as well. By the way, leave a comment if you disagree or agree.
I'm looking at your team and I'm thinking, I've got Danny McGrain and Alistair Johnson up against James Forrest and Scott Sinclair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking James Forrest is not getting past Alistair Johnson, and I'm thinking Scott Sinclair's getting maybe a mere Danny McGrain.
Well, I could say the same thing. I've got Tom Boyd and Kieran Tierney up against Didier Agat and Daizen Maeda, so that's both ways. And then in midfield, if I've got Lenny against Brown, it'd be some game, wouldn't it?
It would. I think Maeda would get the better of Tierney.
Yeah, sure.
And I think Agat would fly past Boyd. Well, Boyd even had a bit of time of pace about him, right enough.
I think you're totally wrong there, John. Obviously, it's all about opinions, as you say.
Agat would turn Boyd inside out, man. But we've both got.
I don't think so. I don't think I totally disagree.
well, that's your opinion. That's my opinion, and your opinion. That's what it is.
Sorry, on you go, Jan.
No, I was going to say we've got Henrik Larsson here, the King of Kings, up against Van Dijk and Carter Vickers. Mm-hmm. So Henrik Larsson, for a short guy, was he 5'9", 5'10", something like that? No taller than 5'10" anyway. How good was he in there?
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting one, isn't it? And you've got Henrik Larsson up against Roy Aitken and Van Dijk. It'd be an interesting game, wouldn't it? It's good. It's good. Two good teams, two brilliant teams.
The midfield battle. You've got Scott Brown against Neil Lennon.
Yeah. Two warriors
in
the midfield. It'd be
two warriors. We've both picked McStay and Lubo. In there. So that how they come up against each other, I don't know, but.
All right, mate. That's fine. We'll leave it there. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree, or leave us a comment with your all-time one to 11, and as John says, we'll bring it up on the next podcast on Wednesday night. All right, John, that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was brilliant. That was really good. In fact, that was good. Looking back on some of the great players we've had through the years. Now going to move on to your top three memories, starting from 3 down to your best. You want to go first, John?
I'll go first. Why not? Number 3, 1988, the double. That's number 3 for me. Everybody remembers it. Well, anybody for our era remembers where they were that day. Beautiful sunny day as well. Remember the Scottish Cup and that. I'm going to go for that. Is that centenary double? As number
unforgettable. 3. Unforgettable. Yeah.
I remember it well.
Forget it. The Scottish Cup final must have been about 30 degrees outside. Winning the cup final with McAvenny's 2 late goals. Just what a season that was for us. Big Billy McNeil was the manager. Never forget it, John. Never forget it.
Still strong in the memories, Andrew.
That's great choice. Yeah. We've got number 2, John.
Number 2, so I haven't wrote it down. I'm going to improvise here for number 2, but I'm going to go for the let's see. I was thinking the UEFA Cup final, but it didn't turn out to be such a good memory, did it? Portal diving all the part and cheating and all that. Cheated us at the final, basically. But
Yeah, definitely, aye.
it's still a great memory. But my second memory is going to go to Wim Jansen stopping 10 in a row.
Yeah. I'll never forget the nerves in that day. I'll never forget it. That game against St Johnstone. You know, that was.
It was what do you call him? Brackback scored and who was the other scores? Was it Brackback scored a
Henrik
double?
scored.
Was it? Is it Henrik?
No, Henrik scored. Henrik scored early, and Blackback scored
That's what he
midway
did.
through the second half.
Aye.
That was an unforgettable day as well. You know, the nerves. I remember where I was that day. I was away out at Loch Lomond, sitting in the car myself, listening to it on the radio, and I was just sitting out at Loch Lomond, and as soon as the second goal went in, started the engine, headed back to Glasgow and celebrated. Great memories, great memories.
Aye. So that's my number 2 anyway. I just thought that was. So again, it's something I'll never forget. Wee Wim getting threw up in the air by all the Celtic players and all that. The celebrations. I don't know if you remember that. Wee Wim was in the centre of them on. They were all throwing him up and catching him.
Aye.
But
He was loving it, wasn't he?
Just that whole day, just stopping them for winning that 10 in a row. You know, the most successful team in football. Cough, cough. What a lot of garbage, I keep saying it. Just see that them saying that most successful team in football. What a load of garbage. So, no, listen, that day for me was, it was just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Just, I remember where I was staying at the time, the street parties and all that. Aye. Number 2 for me, Zander.
Yeah. Brilliant memories. And number 1, what's your all-time Celtic memory?
Now, what was your number 2?
I've not give you any mine yet.
Oh, have you
I'm just
not?
going to go for you. No, I've not give you any. No.
Somewhere other place. I was getting lost in that there, just thinking about it.
It's good. That's your day. You're just thinking back and just taking you back. Aye.
I was getting lost in it there. And I think definitely without doubt was the day we sealed the quadruple treble. Just the utter dominance of Celtic, the total powerhouse, and the feeling of winning all the trophies. A lot of young Celtic fans are too used to winning trophies, I think, right enough. The quadruple treble was quite a feat that I don't think will ever be matched. Just amazing feat, if you ask me.
Aye. Yeah, never be repeated. Yeah, outstanding. Yeah. Aye, 3 good memories there, John. Thanks for that. That's unforgettable stuff, all that, isn't it? Going to my top 3. Well, number 3 has got to be the UEFA Cup run, John. The UEFA Cup run was unforgettable too. I know the final didn't work out as we all hoped it would against Porto, but see that run I'll never forget it. Even the final as well, you know. Oh, I didn't go to Seville. I just went out to Glasgow City Centre and watched the game in a pub somewhere. But you know that run, that every tie we played, you know, getting through, and then through the quarter final and through the semi final, then into the final. Wow, you know, and so unlucky not to win it in the end. So, but great memory for me that. So European Cup run number 3.
Well, like I said to you before I started, I was going to include that. But the fact that we didn't win it, it didn't work out to be such a good memory. But the sight inside that stadium, the beautiful sight of the green, white, and gold all over the stadium, it was stunning to see. The nerves were there. It was just a day of total excitement. I had a feeling we were going to win it. I had that wee feeling something good was going to happen. Henrik Larsson gets 2 goals. Porto players diving all over the park, cheating. Bobo Balde getting sent off. And it totally demoralising when we lost that, you know. So I'll never forget it for that reason.
Don't get me wrong, John. I've never seen the game back since. I've never watched it, not once. You know, but that run, the actual run itself, if we got knocked out of the Champions League and into the UEFA Cup, you know, that run was
Magnificent.
Outstanding, aye.
Liverpool beat Liverpool. We beat, who's the other English team we beat again?
Blackburn, Boa Vista,
Celta
Vigo. The run was just amazing. Beating proper teams, you know. All right, number 2 for me, and it's just an individual game. It's I'll never forget it. It was a 6-2 game. That 6-2 game against Rangers, total demolition of them. And for me, that was the game that shifted the balance of power. That was the game that gave Celtic the upper hand and still have the upper hand ever since that 6-2 game. So for me, my second best memory was the 6-2 game. What did you think
good
of that
memory.
one, John?
I remember where I was and I watched that as well, sitting with my man in the house. 2 is going off our heads. I remember it well. I couldn't believe what I was watching at the time. Celtic were like 3-0 up, and I can't mind the time, but the times of the goals, but it was quite quick. Quite quickly, they were 3-0 up.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit like the game, the first game that Rangers fans were stoked coming out of Celtic Park recently. We get 3 quick goals. Maybe not as quick as the 6-2 game, right enough, but Leo bad on that scoring. But no, the 6-2 game, it lives long in the memory. It's the classic Celtic match, other than the cup final for the Lisbon Lions, wasn't it? Winning the European Cup. That is the Celtic match. Nobody will ever take that away. But I think that game, if you're talking just individual games, that's a memory and a half, Zander. 6-2. I'll never forget it. Just a brilliant day. Big Sutton as well. The whole team were outstanding. Paul Lambert, Stilian Petrov, and all that. The Martin O'Neill era. That was it. It was marching on. It was, like you says, it was the power shift. And we've not really looked back since. Celtic's dominated Scottish football since, I think.
Definitely. Yeah. Aye. Outstanding game. What a day that was. So we move on to my number 1, and I'm torn here, John, because I've got the centenary double. It was just amazing. Great season. I'll never forget it. It was memories that's still in my mind just now. The Scottish Cup final especially, that was amazing. Or the Scottish Cup final the year after that against Rangers. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the Scottish Cup final against Rangers in 1989. We beat them 1-0, but Rangers got a throw in, but Celtic took it. Joe Miller bangs it into the back of the net. We win the Scottish Cup. Beautiful sunny day again. Another 28 degrees day. Hampden Park. Yeah. That's my number 1.
It was a good day, that, 1989. It was a throw into Rangers, wasn't it, that goal? I still remember that goal. Every Celtic fan should know that goal. Throw into Rangers, they're all too busy complaining. Celtic take the throw in and go.
Roy Aitken win it, takes the throw in quickly.
Takes it quickly. Joe Miller's just stuck the ball away. It was the last minute, wasn't it, or something like that? It was really late on in the game.
No, I think it was early on in the second half. I think it was maybe still about half an hour to go, John. Because they had a few chances to equalise, if I remember right. But
I thought it was pretty late on in the game, that one. But I remember the goal and all that, because a long time ago. I've not watched the game in God knows how many years. But I've seen, obviously, the goal a lot of times recently.
Many years ago was that? About 35 years ago, something like that. It's a long time ago. But yeah, it was outstanding. The same as the double the year before. It sticks in my memory the same as that. So yeah, that's my final memory. It was the Scottish Cup final win against Rangers.
All
right, John. That's us. That was a great wee chat tonight. Enjoyed that. We're at nearly 50 minutes. So obviously the football doesn't return for another a week tomorrow, week Sunday. So it's a full week yet to go before the football starts. So we'll do another wee podcast on Wednesday. No, but great Celtic memories the other night. Some 2 great teams that we picked as well. Leave a comment with your first 11, and we'll match them up and bring them up on the next podcast. Be discussion on the next podcast. Anything else, John? Any news today or anything? Any topics to bring up?
No, there's nothing to bring up at all. I don't think all the guys doing podcasts are all stuck looking for something to talk about. But what else can you talk about? Well, the season's on hold right now with the international break happening. Watched Scotland the other night getting beat 2-0 with Spain. Scotland weren't very good at all, were they? They had a goal that was chopped half, of course, but it turned out it was offside. I'm not sure what's his name, Big Hen. Was it Hendry that was blocking the keeper? I'm not sure he got a touch on it, but it doesn't matter. Scotland, they need to wait to the next game. We're not here to talk about Scotland, but no, I think we've covered everything we wanted to talk about. Just a wee bit of fun today.
All right. Okay, dokie, John. We'll leave it there, right? And we'll catch you on Wednesday, buddy.
Okay, Zander, I'll speak to you later, mate. Take it easy, yeah? Hail, hail.
Thanks for that, John. Hail, hail. Bye-bye.